Good morning, student. Myself, Professor Dhaval Chandarana, and I am conducting your one of the subject known as cyber law and ethics. As we know that we are introducing this subject and introducing myself in a first lecture of introductions to a particular subject. So you know that what was the subject, what we are going to the subject, what the subject demands, and how we are complete this demand with help of video lecture series. So guys, we will start our first unit known as introductions to cyber law. Guys, we are conducting as much as portion on the video lectures because of this pandemic situations. So please watch all the videos, all the contents and example peacefully. If you have found any kind of doubts, if you don't understand any kind of terminology which we are discussing through these lectures and throughout this semester, please contact on my WhatsApp number which is available on the first lectures, as well as if you have a doubt regarding any materials, then please join the Google Classroom. I will share Google Classroom code through the mail. So guys, we will start with the first unit of a cyber law and ethics subject known as introductions to cyber law. First we discuss what we are discussing in this particular unit. So there are the lots of terms which is the basic terminology about this subject, because you are new in this era in the field in known as IT industries. I know you are from the electrical department, but as per the demands, as per the current requirement, GTU mentions this subject in your department because of the current market is basically depends on a computer technology, and you are also one of your part. So that's why we will discuss so many basic things in this particular video lecture. As well as we can say we will start with the basic terminology of cyber law and ethics. So guys, we will discuss evolutions of computer technology, because whenever we discuss some cyber law, or we can say concept of cyber, it is basically depends on a computer. So first we understand what is a computer, how they evaluate it, how a computer will be worked, and what was the different technology is available in current market. So based on that we will discuss some another terms. Then we will discuss emergencies of a cyberspace, cyber jurisprudences and law, doctrinal approach, consensual approach, real approaches. Then we will discuss a cyber ethics, cyber jurisdictions, hierarchy of courts, then a civil and criminal jurisdictions, cyberspace and web space, web hosting and web development agreements, legal and technological significances of a domain name, and the later on internet as a tool for the global access. Guys, all the things we will discuss on our first introduction subject. Then also I will just revise the point which we are discussing in this unit number 1. So I hope you are clear about what we are discussing in this particular unit 1. But from all the point today, we will just discuss one of the point of list out the different point. Today we will discuss the evolutions of computer technology. So I will try my best to explain all the things which we are defining by the GTU, as well as we will discuss so many example which is currently available in market. So guys, please watch all the videos, and after completions of video I will just upload one of the MCQ test. It is nothing but to 5 to 6 marks. You must be present and submit all the tests regular basis. So its attendance should be considered as based on your test. So we will discuss today's video lecture is known as evolutions of computer technology. So we'll start with the first thing. What is a evolutions era of computer technology? The computer was born not for the entertainment or the email, but out of a need to solve a serious numerical crises. By 1880, the US populations had grown so larger that it took to more than 7 years to tabulate the US census results. Guys, the first thing is mentions that the computer was born not for the entertainment, and we know that We are just use a laptop or a computer system because we want to watch a movie, web series, game, and because of entertainment. But guys, literally says the computer is nothing but the inventions for solving a numerical crisis as well as complex problem within a short period of time. Every technology have two different sections. If you want to getting a positive notes, they can have a lots of help with help for complex problem. But the same way technology have a negative impact also. If you want to consider on a negative case, then it should be harmful for you. Whenever we discuss any of the technology, they have work on both the case positive as well as negative. What we want to perform on a positive cases or on negative cases, it is up to us. So guys, a technology will be help for your life. It is also harmful for your life. The government shout a faster way to get the job done, giving rise to punch cards based computer that took up an entire room. As if previously we will discuss, what is the requirement of computer? Whenever US surgeons said they want to ask to perform population's growth, which should be count on basis of a human being. If they count without computer, they take a 7 years. But the US government want to perform same task on a faster notes. That's why they have introducing punch card based computer, and it's take a entire room space. So you think that what was a size of a first computer, and I think you know very well. So it is the things which we are discussing, evolutions of computer. As you know screen now, electronic numerical integrator and a computer, ENIAC. It is the first thing. It is introducing a first computer on 1915 to 16th era. Then the IBM mainframe, it is generated some integrated computer with help of in 1970s mainframe based. Then a Microsoft Office and operating system will be introducing a new and smaller scale computer in 1918 client server, which we are currently use it. Then in 1990s introducing a WWW, it's known as a World Wide Web. It is concept of internet through which we can access our data with any remote location, and nowadays we are working on a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and lots of things. Guys, from 1915 to current 2020, we will completely based on our computer system from beginning morning to a later night. So guys, a computer, it is one of the part of our current life, as well as we can say that it is our lifestyle, and it's being a lifestyle till end. So guys, we must be understand how a computer will be introducing with a different generations. The computer were born not for the entertainment, as we previously we will discuss a same thing which should be mentioned on a second time, because we just remember that this thing or this concept will be not because of entertainment. It must be generated due to some require emergency. It is mentioned by the US government. All thought the computer have technically been in use since the abacus approximately 5,000 years ago. Guys, the digit is very big. They have says that it's works since a 5,000 years ago. It is the modern computer that have had the greatest and the most profound effect on the society, because whenever we discuss a word known as computer, we will just discuss about a movie, either a social network, either some of the concept known as a Microsoft Office. We are never think about out of the box technology which is provided by the computer and technocracy people. The first full size digital computer in history was developed in 1944 called the Mark I. This computer was used only for the calculations and weight of 5 tons. Guys, a last paragraph or last line, it is really important whenever someone asks a history about a computer, you must be mentioned that a first computer was developed in 1994 and name is known as a Mark 1. If some of the MCQ questions should be asked, then it is a mandatory to remember that the since where they spawned, the name of first computer known as Mark, and its working is just for the calculation and the weight is of 5 ton. Now we know that what was the size of current computer system. Now we've discussed a different generations where computer is working on a current market from 1944 to currently 2020. The computer generation should be divided in 5 different tasks or 5 different generation. We will discuss each of them. First generation's computers bore a little resembles to a computers of today's entire in appreciations of a performance. The first generations of computer took place from 1940 to 1956 and was extremely large in a size. As previous slides we will discuss Mark 1, it is a 5 ton weight. So we expect that what was the actual size of a computer. The inner workings of the computers at that time were unsophisticated because they are just used for the simple calculations. These early machines require a magnetic drums for the memory and vacuum tube that work as a switches and amplifier. Guys, it is the things which we are discussing about a computer as well as the generations of computer. Which kind of material will be used, what are the different parts available in computer at that particular time of era in 1940 to 56, what was the different part used for the computer system. It is clearly mentions that a magnetic drum used for the memory and the vacuum tube is work for the switches and amplifier. It was the vacuum tube that were mainly responsible for the larger size of machines and the massive amount of heat that they release. Nowadays also computer release some hits, but they are in form of controlling. At the previously in 1940-56 era, they have generated larger amount of heat, so for that we are using a vacuum tube. They just provide the coldness to perform, or we can say boost up a computer speeds with a normal temperature. This computer produce so much heat that they regularly overheated despite large cooling units because they generate so many heats. First generation's computer also use a very basic programming language that is referred to as a machine language. Guys, whenever we discuss a computer word, you must be understand what is a machine language. I will just give you one example. If two Gujarati peoples talk with each other, for that communications they require a Gujarati language. Same way, whenever your computer system want to communicate with a memory, it's become a physical memory, or we can say primary memory or a secondary memory. Like it is want to communicate with your hard disk or it's want to communicate with your RAM. They must be required some of the language, and it the language known as a machine language. So whenever we want to click on any of the movie and it should be shown on your computer system or screen, they generate some communications between where the actual file is, how they use a particular memory, what are the software which should be installed on your computer, and which one is the best one among all of them. So for those instructions, your computer system must be communicated with a secondary storage, and it is a way to define a communication in known as a machine language. So I will just give you one of the things or example through which you can easily understand what is a machine language. It's just for the understanding purpose for your computer system, or we can say operating system, to a hardware as well as software. Now we discuss a second generation computers. the second generations from a 1956 to 1963. Guys, I just request you to all of you that you must be remember the scenes where a first generation is introducing, second generation, third, fourth and fifth. Because as per my expectation, this question should be asked in an exam point of view as well as in MCQ point of view. So if you possible, then please remember all the scenes where the generation should be introducing of a computer system. So I will just revise this. The second generations, it's known as a 1956 to 1963 of a computers managed to do away with the vacuum tube in lieu of transistor. Means they just replaced a vacuum tube, or we can say vacuum tube, to a transistor. Transistor in form of smaller size compared with the vacuum tube. This allowed them to use a less electricity as well as and generate the less heat. So it is one of the advanced feature will be introducing by a technocase people on a second generation's computer. They just replaced a vacuum tube to a transistor, and they have found a two biggest advantage compared with the first generation. First thing, they can use a less electricity, and the second most important advantage should be found with help of transistor is generates a less heat. Second generation computer were also significantly faster than their predecessors, or we can say predecessors. It's nothing but to generate some process to executing this particular time. Like I will just calculate 10 digit number, it should be faster output compared with the first generation. Because whenever we introducing some new technology, it must be faster compared with the previous one. Then and then it should be acceptable by the market people. So a three advantage we will mention that. First one, using a less electricity. Second one, generate a less heat. And the third one, it is faster with the first one. Another significant change was in the size of computer, as we mentioned earlier, because we are converting our vacuum tube to a transistor. So it always be a matter with the size. Which were a smaller, it should be acceptable. Transistor computer also developed a core memory which they use alongside a magnetic storage. Same way in a previous one, they use some magnetic storage with help of a vacuum tube. Now we are using a transistor. Third generation, from 1964 to 1970, computer went through a significant change in terms of speed, courtesy of integrated circuits. Integrated circuit is nothing but the IC which we are replaced two transistor from second generation to a third generations. Guys, whenever we discuss, we just transmitted some of the hardware in form of parts which is currently in market. It's because of the size is matter. If we are using transistor, then it should be size is much smaller compared with the first one. But we are using a IC. You are very well, you are become from the electrical engineer. So I will just not going to the depth. But as we know that when we are discussing some of the part of computer and we just transmitting to one of the form to another form, it's just because of size and a speeds, or a semiconductor chip, where a larger number of manufactured transistor packed on a silicon chip. This not only increased the speed of computer but also made them smaller, more powerful and less expensive. I will not detail in this particular line because you are understand better than me what was the use of IC, semiconductor chip, concept of a transistor, because you are from the electronic engineers. In addition, instead of the punch card and the printouts of previous system, keyboard and monitor were now allowing people to interact with the computing machines. Guys, you just remember this line. On from the third generations of computer, we will introducing a keyboard and monitor system. On a behalf of first and second, we will not using any kind of communications with help of keyboard and mouse monitors. At this particular time, we just using magnetic memories. Now we discuss a fourth generations. The changes wherein the greatest impact occurred in the year from 1970 to 2010. During this time, technology developed to a point where manufacturers could place a millions of transistors on a single circuit chip, because now all our world it should be transferred to some hard copy data to some soft copy informations, and for this a computer generate a biggest role in a market or in this particular transmissions data. This was called a monolithic integrated circuit technology. It also heralded the inventions of Intel 4004 chip, which was the first microprocessors to become commercially available in 1971. Guys, as we mentioned that on 1971, Intel generates some of the microprocessor. Name itself suggests a size it's become a smaller compared with the rest of other thing. And nowadays we will know that what was the latest, it is Core i7, Core i10 and lots of. But the size is always be a matter. So for this, Intel is introducing a microprocessor to commercially available in 1971. By the mid 70s, personal computer, or we can say in short PC, such as Altran 8800 become available to public in the form of kit and require assembly. Kit means they have generated some different parts, and we just combine all the parts and generate some personal computer like keyboard, mouse, RAM, processor, fans and all the things, motherboard. By the later 70s and early 80s assembled personal computer for home use such as Commodore PET, Apple II and the first IBM computer. It is the name, a different company introducing a different computer, where making their way onto the market, because whichever we are discussing a name of computer, they are the biggest giant in IT industry nowadays and before earlier. So they have introducing a computer as per the requirement, as per the competition's need. A market requires some faster, smaller and a computer they people want to use of the particular company. So organizations always fulfill a market demand. The fourth generations of computers also show the creations of even smaller computer, including laptops and handheld device. It is known as a tablet. And the last thing which we are discussing in today's video lecture, it is known as a fifth generations of computer, and it is the last generation which we are discussing in concept of evolution of computer. In the future, computer user can expect even faster like a supercomputer and more advanced computer technology. Now we know that what is a advanced technology. It is nothing but a creation of world known as artificial intelligence, AI. Our mind is always be communicated with computer that can accept our signal and generate some of the process with help of different technology. Computer continue to develop into the advanced form of technology, and recently the two thing, it is the biggest world, it's known as AI, it is known as artificial intelligence and cloud computing. Fifth generations of computer has yet to be a truly defined, as there are the numerous paths that technology is taking towards the further of computer development. Guys, it's not mentioned a since where to where. Miss it which positions fifth generation will be start, As if we want to consider that a 2010 it is the fourth generation, then we just assume that after 2010 to current era it's become a fifth generation. For instance, research is ongoing in the field of nanotechnology. It is 10 raised to 9. It's become a not visible for the normal eyes. Artificial intelligence as well as quantum computer. Guys, it is the journey of a computer system. Why we are discussing a computer system on beginning of this semester, beginning of this subject and beginning of this unit? Just the simple thing I will just explain to you. In this particular subject, we will discuss whatever the crime, it should be happen with help of computer. How they becomes, we will to disclose it. How we can deny those crime. And if the crime is happening with us, then what are the different sections developed by a Indian government in should be IT Act 2000. So that's why we just discuss on the beginning of this semester what is a journey of computer. If we know that what are the different technology are happened with help of computer, then we can easily understand what was the different crime should be happen with help of computer system. That's why I will just mention the evolutions of computer with a different generation. I hope you enjoy this lecture, learn something new. I will try to explore your some of the knowledge in this computer world, and I will give you one of the example through which you can relate with your subject easily. I hope you are enjoyed and like my videos. Thank you so much.